Welcome to a platform where we debate on the top stories of the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, and other leagues with the best in the world of sports. You'll also get interviews with many athletes and media talents at several basketball events, including the WNBA and college basketball. My name is Rafiq Ulwazon, and this is Nothing But That Sports Talk.
Bowers hitting for Hoskins. 3-2. Swing and high fly ball. Right field. On its way. Gone! Pinch hit homer. Jake Bowers. And the Brewers have the lead here in the seventh. And now it's Freeling. That one's out of here. Sal Freeling. Back to back. And it is 2-0. Oh my goodness.
They're going to Radicus back to Alonso.
Lindor at third, Nimmo at first. The pitch. Swing and a ball drilled. Right field. Freeling back at the wall. Out of here. It's out of here. Alonso an opposite field home run. And the Mets have the lead. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, takes Devin Williams deep. And here in the ninth, the comeback kids have done it again. And the pitch. And that one hit. On a bounce. Yeah. Throw to first. Out! And it's a double play. And it's over. It's over. A double play to end the game. And the Mets are moving on to Philadelphia.
Oh my God. What a home run by Pete Alonso. No, seriously, that what a comeback win for the New York Mets. Welcome to this episode of Nothing But That Sports Talk. Rafiq Ulwazon alongside Ryan Walker. How you doing tonight? Down.
I'm good. I'm great.
Yeah, I know you're great, but as a Yankee fan, you know you're going to be facing the Kansas City Royals, and the Mets are joining you guys in the lead division series as well. So I want to get your thoughts on everything that happened this past week in the MLB postseason, including a literally crazy home run that sucked the life out of Milwaukee, courtesy of Pete Alonso.
You know, it's crazy. I'm not even a Mets fan, but I was talking with this guy. I was talking about. You didn't even let me finish. I was talking with Pat, and he's mentioned Alonso a couple weeks back. About how compared to his other years, he's having a down years, but he still hit like 36 home runs or something like that, which is good in any type of lifetime. He just didn't hit his max of like the 40, 50s like he normally does. And he'll probably get that back. And he also came off an injury last year. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time to trust yourself and get back into your complete groove. You might need a whole year under your belt. But I was also talking with this guy at my job that comes around a lot, physical training. And he was like, Lindor is playing the best on the Mets this season. He's been the best player on the team this year. But what's the gentleman that just hit the 2-run home run? Oh my God, Alonso. Pete Alonso is supposed to be the best player on the team. Now he was talking about, Alonso having a down year. I said, yeah, but he still has 30-something home runs. He's got power. You always got to pay attention to him. Things can happen. And look, tonight he hits a 2-run home run. Listen, I'm not a hater. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm supporting the Phillies beating the Mets. You know what I'm saying? They from New York, so if they do good, they do good. But me, it's all about my Yankees pretty much on this side. But they did well. They got through the series. They honestly were, to me in my eyes, better than Milwaukee anyway. Milwaukee just happened to have the home field for winning their division. But now they're on to the next round and to a tough rival team in the Phillies, who had some interesting series in games, playoffs, and regular season wise with the Mets throughout the umpteenth of years. Philadelphia is the better team, but this is postseason baseball. That doesn't mean anything. anything can happen. As you can see, the Detroit Tigers with good pitching beat the Houston Astros. As you can see, the Kansas City Royals took down the Baltimore Orioles. You know what I'm saying? So there's sometimes it's very unpredictable in postseason baseball, and that'll definitely be a good series. Both teams know each other, and go from there. That was a big time win. That was a big time hit. Lindor had a big time hit in the series, big time home run, and now Alonso, got his big time home run as well too. So they deserved it. They're moving on.
Yeah, I know. They're moving on big time, and that is just crazy. You know what? I'm just gonna take this background off because I kind of did that in order to celebrate the victory. This is literally one of the craziest victories for the New York Mets postseason history. And you can't get any better than that, Ryan. You can't get any better than that. As long as you've been watching baseball and watching New York sports in general, this has to go down as one of the greatest moments in New York sports history.
Well, they've been scrappy and resilient all year. Understand? So we're here to talk about and analyze the game the proper way, regardless of who we like. And they've been scrappy all year. They've had their ups and downs, but they played better ball all the way through. They had a couple, like I said, Lindor got hurt at the end, came back. That was key for them. Marte's back. Remember, Jeff McNeil's out for the year. Senga's out for the year. They have another gentleman, I forget, that's out for the year as well too. So
Jeff McNeil.
Yeah, McNeil's out for the year. Senga's out for the year, and there's another guy that's out for the year. That's key to the team. I forgot who it was. And Lindor just came back. So, in it's postseason baseball, like you said, anything can happen. It's all about timely hitting and timely pitching. And the Mets pulled that off. And I never thought in any of my wildest minds that Milwaukee would win the series. The Mets were the better team. It's just that they didn't win their division. So they happened to have to play in this new format all the games in Milwaukee. And in essence, what did that really matter? In essence, when you really look at it, the Mets were dominant for all three games. They won very well in game one. They should have won game two. You know what I'm saying? And they blew something there, but that's still on the road in Milwaukee. And they came back and won tonight. So they're moving on. That's what postseason is baseball is about. But Philadelphia is not Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's what I want to believe in. The Philadelphia Phillies, they were up in the World Series in 2022. They were in the NLDS, losing to the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are home right now. We understand that. We understand the Philadelphia Phillies have fast improved with the right bats by Bryce Harper, and the good pitching carried by Zach Wheeler, a former New York Met. We understand that. We understand the Philadelphia Phillies and the Mets have been rivals throughout the years, and there were times when the Phillies owned the Mets, like in the 2000s and early 2010s during the Ryan Howard days, and obviously after that 1 year where they were taken out by the San Francisco Giants in the NLCS, they weren't good for a while up until the recent years. They had their moment where nobody expected them to make it to the World Series, but yet they make it happen anyway. And then, of course, last year they had a 7-game series, also as I mentioned. But this time around, you never know what you're going to get from baseball teams now these days because, unlike other sports, the teams that were in the World Series or won the World Series don't make it every year. The Kansas City Royals have not made it to the postseason since they won it all in 2015 against the New York Mets, and they're facing the New York Yankees. You can't write a better story than this.
I mean, it can go a lot of different ways. There's a lot of really good teams left. Yankees have had a lot of rest. Hopefully that doesn't turn into rust. We got the pitching rotation set up like how we want it. We got the arms ready. We got two really good players, really great players actually, and we got a good lineup. So let's see. It's postseason. Kansas City is a good team. I know they're not going to underestimate them because they can pitch. They're scrappy. They're playing very well as well too. And it's Saturday night. We'll see how that one kicks off with them. But I pray and think that if the Yankees play to their potential, they should win that series.
Yeah, they should. I mean, this is the Kansas City Royals who, again, they haven't been to the postseason in a while, and this roster is completely different from the World Series team back in 2015 or the World Series in like the mid 2010s. But we also understand that the Yankees and Royals, they haven't had a postseason appearance like the 1980s. I mean, I wasn't thought of at the time, and I was just rewatching the whole celebration that happened when the Yankees had a walk-off home run against the Royals, and it was a mob house. It kind of you would think you're watching a college basketball game where the lowest seed upsets a top-tier team, but it's literally baseball.
That probably was Chris Chambliss who hit that home run.
Yeah. The going crazy. Even the security wasn't coming on the field. The fans were coming on the field.
Yeah, that was the Bronx, man. That was the Bronx. You know what made it so more like back then the fans was even more hungry because you got to remember, like in the Bronx in general, it was crazy with the 1970s with all the burnings and the crazy things and the that was going on culture-wise. And the Yankees were good for a little time in the 70s and in the beginning of the 80s. So Yankee fans are crazy back then, man. They were it really was pandemonium. And yeah. Listen, postseason baseball is unpredictable. The Yankees can lose to the Royals, but if the Yankees play well, they should win the series. The Phillies are better than the Mets, and the Phillies play, they should win the series, but the Mets are well and more than capable of beating the Phillies. You know what I'm saying? Especially since they know each other. And the Mets are confident, you know what I'm saying? And they feel good about what's going on right now. San Diego might have got into a little groove. We'll see how that affects them in this next big time round. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of ways that this whole scenario can go. Who knows if Detroit is a buzzsaw? You know what I'm saying? They're starting to pitch right now, and they got two really good quality games, and they can set their rotation up a little bit. So it's postseason baseball. We're gonna see.
Exactly. And you know what? For the next week, at least for the next week, for the first time since 2006, both the Mets and Yankees are playing in a league division series. And yeah, that's crazy enough. Of course, and the funny thing is, with both times it features Detroit Tigers. I mean, another team nobody really had making the postseason. They were out by as many as 10 games, and they made it as a wild card team.
See, so it's a postseason baseball is a very interesting element, bro. I tell you,
man, you can't predict this. I thought March Madness was unpredictable, but Major League Baseball in recent years, ever since that new format for the wild card round, you can't predict this. You just can't.
But I tell you, it's always been like that. It's even with the new format. Even the new format is even more wackier. But
I mean, it's always been like that. That's true.
But you're right. The adding of the teams makes it even more crazy because, like you said, Detroit was 10 games out. 10 games?
Until the middle of August for Detroit Tigers to find their groove.
Now, I mean, who knows that they one round that way. They mean the postseason. Kansas City's playing really good ball right now. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of teams that play. Is the Dodgers playing San Diego?
Yeah, the Dodgers are playing the San Diego Padres. That's another crazy series you should look out for. I mean, come on now.
They don't like each other.
It's a battle of California, man.
They really don't like each other. So that could be very interesting. And
Dodger Stadium is a crazy scene, and trust me, I should know because I've been there for regular season game back in the summer of 2007. It gets crazy down there at Dodger Stadium, especially with Ohtani, who's having the best season that any baseball better season, all the baseball stories that we watched throughout the years.
Yeah, designated hitter, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases, first time in baseball history. I mean, he's just an incredible talent. I mean, some days you can say Aaron Judge might be the best player. Some days, a lot you can say Shohei Ohtani. They both have done incredible things this year. But Ohtani is clearly an incredible talent.
Yeah, clearly incredible. Now we get to our predictions, starting with the Dodgers and the Padres. Who you got winning this series?
Oh man, I could be crazy. 7.
The league division series is the best of 5.
I'm sorry. Yes, yes. So the first one, I'm sorry. First one is first one to 3, right? So 5 is the max games you can play. Okay. Oh, Dodgers. Okay. 5 games.
Okay.
I like the Padres. They're scrappy, but the Dodgers are gonna win. The Dodgers, at least they should be. Dodgers are gonna win.
Yeah, I mean the Padres are not going to mess around if Fernando Tatis Jr. finds his groove. But yeah, I can't sleep on San Diego after they swept the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, Mets and Phillies. I mean, yeah, who wins and how many games will it take?
All right. My brain tells me the Phillies. The Phillies are the better team. They should win the series. They do have home field in the series, I believe, as well too. If it all ends up and ends up. But I'm gonna go on picking. You hear me on the air? I'm gonna say the Mets will upset them in this series.
Mm-hmm.
I say the Mets will advance in 5 games if they do it. 5 games for the Mets, but quote me, the Phillies are the better team.
That's fair. They've been the better team all season.
Yeah, and this is what I don't want to happen. I don't want the Mets to play a Phillies team that waked up like the one 2 years ago and last year. And you know what I'm talking about. Because if they turn into that buzzsaw, it could get real scary.
You talking about the Phillies being the Phillies from the 2022?
We've seen what they've done the last 2 postseasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen how unbelievably scary they could be, right?
Yes, they're unbelievably scary. As a matter of fact, I remember the past 2 postseasons, you predict them to lose to the Atlanta Braves and they end up winning.
Big time. So if that happens, the Mets are in trouble. You know that, and I know that. If that happens, that we just hope that Philly team is not the one that shows up for them that day because this series. Because if they do that again, but I'm like I said, mine is the Phillies, better team, but I'm gonna pick the Mets. I ain't gonna be a hater on you. I'm from New York, so I can't completely say that too. There's a little bias too, but I'm gonna pick the Mets. But the Phillies are the better team.
Okay, I'll show your brain there. Yeah, your favorite team, the New York Yankees and the Kansas City Royals. We were talking about the Royals and the Yankees. Yeah, you said have the Yankees win, don't you?
Yeah, Yankees and 4 games.
Okay. Okay, I'll take that. Now, on to the final matchup for the league divisional series. The Tigers will take on the Cleveland Guardians. Very interesting. Who you have winning?
Okay, I'm on record. I like what Detroit is doing. I really do. They're pitching really awesome right now too. But I'm gonna go the Guardians. I think they'll play very well at home. They'll rock their house. Um, man, that city and organization is due a run, and this would be a good start. They usually, no, not trying to say anything crazy, but they usually play the Yankees early, and we've usually been victorious against Cleveland, whether when they were the Indians per se, but they've been victorious over us too. They've sent us home with some interesting series over the last 30 years as well too. But we've had a little bit more success against them and also the Minnesota Twins in the playoffs normally. So, but this could be better for them to play the Tigers and get into a good groove and maybe get into that ALCS. They have the home, so they can definitely hit. They have good enough arms too. I'll go Cleveland. I'll go. I'm also going to say that might go 5 games. I just like how Detroit is playing. The Cleveland, I'll pick in that series.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm gonna just play it safe, pick the Cleveland Guardians. I could pick Detroit because we see a lot of 6 seeds have deep runs in recent years, but I might just pick the Cleveland Guardians for this one.
Yeah.
All right. Now on to some NFL talk as the Jets suffered egregious loss to the Denver Broncos 10-9. Typical. And you had a chance to win a field goal, but you lost. So thoughts on the way the Jets played against the Broncos.
Well, listen, the Denver Broncos have a really good defense. And we've seen that last week. Like I suggest, see, here's the thing I want to say about the Jets, and I don't want to sound like a hater because they do have a good football team. There's a better team definitely in New York this year, without a shadow of a doubt, even by accident. Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's had a great career, won Super Bowls. We get it. But it's going to take time for that thing to work in jail. And it's going to take time for them to learn the quarterbacks to learn the receivers doing live play against good defenses, against the gelling of the offensive line, the trust. And clearly it's taking time with the offense. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say that, and Denver's a team, even with a good defense, that they should beat. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to take time. They're going to have growing pains. And hopefully by the end of the season, they can get that all together and consistent. Because I tell you this by golly, and I don't care, I don't want to sound so cliche and I don't want to keep saying the same thing. Nothing happens in the AFC unless it goes through Patrick Mahomes. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Because
at the end of the day, if that's where you want to get to, they keep saying over these, and even tonight, like, oh, Kansas City just wins by the time they just win. Yeah, but they just keep winning. You understand? Like, that's the part that we keep saying, that they, with that organization, and that crew, and because they know how to win, they play in all types of different situations. They can beat you by 2 touchdowns. They can beat you by a field goal. They can beat you by safety. They can beat you by a comeback. They can beat you by a field goal. That organization is just battle tested. The quarterback is battle tested. So Rodgers and them and the Jets are going to take time, but they have to win that football game. And you would think that the teams that they're supposed to beat, who was the other team they beat that time? They beat the Patriots, right? And who did they beat before?
the Tennessee Titans.
Huh?
The Tennessee Titans.
They beat Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the up and down thing this year. That's why I think they're going to be that type of team. I think they're going to be like a 9-7. They could or 9-8. Excuse me, right? Because there's am I saying that right?
Mm-hmm.
They might be a 9-8 kind of team or 10-7 kind of team. Who do they play this coming week? Well, we'll go to that in a second. But that in essence, as good as Denver's defense is, and they do have the young quarterback Bo Nix, who's a young and developing good quarterback. Excuse me. They're supposed to win that football game. That's a bad loss.
Yeah, they should have won. I mean, even with the defense, even with the offense the way it was, you had a chance to win on a field goal. But obviously, the Justice didn't do enough to mess with the Broncos defense and you let a rookie score a touchdown on you. That's just it's just not enough defense. Aaron Rodgers had his off nights during his NFL career, but this is a game that you should have won. But now they're gonna go on to face the Minnesota Vikings in London. 9 a.m., which kicks off our predictions for the NFL Week 5. I mean, obviously, the Atlanta Falcons scored a big overtime win against the Buccaneers. Kirk Cousins had about 509 passing yards, while Rashid White put up 72 rushing yards. So, and Drake London carried the team for the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah, that was a big win for them on Thursday Night Football.
I was like, dang, I picked against that game. Atlanta really played well. So they're playing better. Mm-hmm. They're definitely playing better.
Look like the NFC South's going to be up for grabs for the rest of the season.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jets versus Vikings. Who you have winning this one?
Oh man, the Jets just played they played so horrific on offense. Last week against Denver, who has a really good, just flying around young defense. Let me tell you something. As much as a New Yorker, I want to say the New York Jets. I think the Vikings are going to win this football game. The Vikings defense is really good. I seen it the first week against the Giants. They are really good. They tackle. They can turn you over, and they cover and make plays down the field. They get after the quarterback. They're nasty, and they have a quarterback who's making plays. Just got him through. They've been winning good football games. The Vikings are going to win.
Yeah, I'm going to share a break with you. The Vikings, Sam Darnold is not messing around. And that's his former team right there. He's improved a lot since his days of New York Jets. So I got it.
Very, very interesting.
And Sam Darnold always had potential to be a good quarterback. It's just a matter of surrounding him around the right pieces. And
That's
now
correct.
I get that in Minnesota.
That's correct.
Now you get the Chicago Bears and home against the Carolina Panthers, who, Carolina, they couldn't defeat the Cleveland. They couldn't defeat the Cincinnati Bengals last week. The Bengals were winless going in. But we knew the Bengals were good enough to beat the Carolina Panthers. And, I don't expect much of Carolina. But who you got to win this matchup between them and the Chicago Bears on the road?
Who you said? Which two teams?
The Carolina Panthers and the Chicago Bears.
Oh, the Bears are winning. They're playing good football. You see the kid out there. They look good. The Bears are winning.
Yep, the Bears are winning indeed. Now, on to the next matchup, the Baltimore Ravens on the road against Cincinnati Bengals at Paycor Stadium.
Baltimore.
Okay. New England Patriots at home against the Miami Dolphins. Even though with everything going on with Tua, let's see who wins that one.
Who's the quarterback this week for the Dolphins? Jeez. I don't like what New England is doing. I'm telling you, they stay sloppy. I'm still picking the back. I'm picking the Dolphins. I don't care. Dolphins go to New England and win.
Yeah, I believe it's
Is it in Miami or New England?
It's in New England.
Yeah, Miami.
Yeah, Miami has to win this game no matter who the quarterback is.
Right.
The Washington Commanders at home against the Cleveland Browns. How about the Washington Commanders? Jason Daniels was no joke.
Absolutely, and the Commanders will win again. That kid's a really good player.
Yeah, because the Cowboys are reeling, even though they did. The Cowboys are reeling, even though they did beat the Giants and the Eagles. Yeah, not that great either. Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars at home against Indianapolis Colts. The Jaguars are 0-4.
Oh my goodness.
And it's at MLB Stadium in Jacksonville. Do you think Jacksonville will get their first win or will the streak continue against the Indianapolis Colts?
I'm gonna go against the grain and I'm gonna pick the Jaguars to get the upset and get their first win. Trevor Lawrence actually wakes up and has a good game. I don't know. I'm picking the upset.
All right. Buffalo Bills on the road against Houston Texans at NRG Stadium.
I like the Bills.
Yeah, they should bounce back after that loss against the Baltimore Ravens last week. Denver Broncos, will their improved defense continue against Las Vegas Raiders at Empower Field at Mile High, Denver, Colorado?
Yeah, Broncos win. I like the Broncos in this football game.
Mm-hmm.
Grady man too.
And obviously it's a rhetorical question, but 49ers at home against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, San Fran.
Los Angeles Rams and over against the Green Bay Packers.
No Jordan Love, right?
I believe so.
Rams.
Okay. And we already went over your pick for the New York Giants and Seattle Seahawks. And obviously, before the season started, you had the Giants win that one somehow. But are you still sticking with that pick now that they're 1-3 to start the season, or do you and Seattle finally took an L in Detroit on Monday Night Football, or will that prediction change? Because
I'll keep the pick. I'll stick with the Giants. I mean, they can't lose every week, so I guess it'll be one of the weeks they get a win. They have no business beating Seattle though. Seattle's better, and they're playing up there. And what's so crazy about our Giants this year? They just had some really, I mean, it wasn't for bad luck, it'd be no look at all. The first game against the Vikings outclassed us. The Vikings are a better team than us. We're not ready for that type of football yet. That type of team. They're a good team. The second week against Washington, against the Commanders, they played a good. Listen, the Commanders played well, but let's keep it real. As well as Jaden Daniels was the quarterback, they didn't score any touchdowns that day. All their points were on field goals, and the Giants scored 3 touchdowns and lost that game. By golly, our kicker got hurt, and the punter was kicking, missed the 3 extra, whatever. So, and they win the Browns game, and by golly, they could have and should have won the Cowboys game, right? Like we watched that game, and we seen that the Cowboys are not supreme. You feel me? And they've been in all the football games, excluding the Minnesota Vikings game, and even that wasn't like the score turned into, it was 24-6 if I'm not mistaken. But the score turned, it was 24-6. The score turned into that through the matriculation of the game. For the most part, they've been in every football game they've been in. They played it, except for like I said, the first one. It's just a couple plays here and there. So they can go to Seattle and win. It just depends on which Daniel Jones is going to playing that week, and how they attack the quarterback. But I'll stick with the Giants on that one, of that pick.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. All right, last 2 games, the Dallas Cowboys on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about the Pittsburgh Steelers? They also a decent start. Do you see the Cowboys winning that game?
No. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh, even though the Cowboys should win. Where the Cowboys going? No, I'm picking Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, go Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Monday Night Football. New Orleans Saints on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Who?
New Orleans Saints on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I like the Saints.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you for picking the Saints because the Saints have been playing better aside from the Eagles. I mean, and at some point, Patrick Holmes have to take it out. But yeah, let's see what happens. I might pick the Saints as well.
Kansas City can't win all of them, but the Saints are a good team. They're more than capable. They can do it. They got a defense. They got a quarterback. Derek Carr's down there playing football.
Yeah, they really do. All right, on to the Oakland Liberty. They are 2-0 on the Las Vegas Aces. I mean, obviously, we're going to get more intake. I mean, if you want more insights, my interview with Kevin Lewis will be published literally as episode gets published as well. But I want to get your take on the New York Liberty as they have a chance to finish off the Aces tonight.
Liberty boy, it's gonna be tough. I want to be fair to the Aces. I think they'll, and the Liberty can win this game. I think the Aces might come out tonight and win it, but I think we could get the next one. But honestly, deep down in my heart, I really wish they would just finish it now. so that you don't have to worry about fighting with this championship team with the best player in the world on their team. So, but the Liberty have been playing really, really, really sound basketball. And like I said, no disrespect to, and I can't even say that because I want to say flat out, if they get past this series, they're going to win the whole thing. But Connecticut is really a good team, and they've always been a tough matchup for the Liberty. And Dallas is actually a really good team too. I think we better matchup against them, Dallas per se. But
Yeah, Dallas is out.
that's probably Dallas. It's Connecticut and
The Minnesota Lynx.
Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota, I feel better our chance against Minnesota. Even though I think did Minnesota beat us once this year? They kicked our butt one time, right?
Yeah, they did. The Minnesota Lynx beat the Liberty 2 times out of 3, and the Commissioner's Cup game as well.
Damn. They beat us up a little bit, huh?
Yeah, Minnesota proved they have the defense to get it done. They may not have the superstar talent like the Liberty and the Aces have, but they do have the defense to get it done.
We gotta change that. But let's hope the Liberty wrap it up tonight, and get to that WNBA finals.
Yeah, let's go as well. I mean, obviously, they showed they doing everything right. They exposing the Aces on the defensive end inside the paints because the Aces defense is just so passive in the last few games.
Well, you know what the difference is with this Liberty team this year and last year, and especially against the Aces team last year.
They were used to playing them.
Well, yes, but that's not like one of the direct things I think that happened. What it is that flat out, they're just a little better. They have more depth. Last year, the Liberty was just really Courtney, Sabrina, Brianna, Jones starting, Laney, and maybe like one or two factors off the bench. But the starting five was really holding up. They didn't have enough depth to play that Vegas team last year who were 8 or 9 deep. Vegas as well actually lost a lot of their bench and core. They really only go about 7, 8 deep. Like they got Jackie, you know what I'm saying? They lost some of their depth. So here's how it is. The Aces are still the champs. They took a step back with the depth on their team, but they're still really good, especially when you got Aja Wilson, the best player, and you got Plum. And remember, the young lady came off the torn ACL. She's still just getting her her feet completely wet. She probably won't completely be herself until next season. So we're a little better. We got Phoebe, who can shoot the 3 and really defend and brings length on the defensive end. They got Thornton, who can shoot the 3, length, defensive end, which makes it more easier for Courtney and makes it easier for Sabrina, for Bree, Jones. Everybody can play more and do more because the depth is there. When you trust everybody on the court, you're fine. So the Liberty's depth is really what makes them so good.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously it's because of the bench and the fan game carry around. Trust me, I should know because me and you been to a lot of Liberty games in recent years. So we know how high the crowd can be when it's at full capacity. And the team together at the right time, I think this will be the week they finish off the Aces. I mean, I'm going to pick the Liberty in 4 games, but I'm very confident they can wrap it up in 3.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Like, definitely. And we're forgetting about Nigel Laney Horton. I mean, who's
Nigel Laney Hamilton.
Hamilton. The team is really they got a lot of players, and they the 4 seems more logical to respect the champions, but the Liberty are playing really well right now and confident, and I think they might be smelling blood. If they can come out and just stay close on the road and stay in that 4th quarter, make plays, they can sneak a win.
Yeah, they could. You're right. They could. And when they get to the next round, all that matters is, do you want to face the Connecticut Sun or the Minnesota Lynx?
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, that should be very interesting. And if you want more, one of my thoughts on the upcoming on the remaining games of the WNBA semifinals, check out my interview with the 9450 podcast host Kevin Lewis, aka K Dots. And also, I want to give my own prayers to Patrick Pollard, a good friend of the show, because yeah, he's something very serious right now that I'm not going to try to bring on the air. I'm not going to say much, but we'll get more to that here. But I want to praise him and he survives what he's going through.
Absolutely, that's my guy. I just spoke to him not too long ago. So
yeah, hopefully you come back strong, and whatever days you have remaining, you can actually continue to have strong sports talks when I bring you back on the show. And I really want that you do it with Ryan. I'm working on it. That's pretty much it. And also, the Harlem Renaissance Classic will take place at Manhattan College, and obviously your friend from Crunch Time, Maybach President, is going to be announcing that game. Give my congratulations to him on that.
absolutely.
I'm glad you finally got connected with the Gerald guy that got me into that. Got me into like to get the thing at Rucker Park back in summer 2023. I'm glad you finally got connected with him. I saw you talking to him on an IG Live once before. Congratulations. So yeah, I'll wrap up this episode. Nothing but that sports talk. Thank you for stopping by. And once again, New York sports is hot this month.
Yeah, and give me and hopefully you could get this clip out there by
the BKNY Network is having that on Knickerbocker Avenue. We can't forget about that.
Absolutely. Everything for Chris. E4C Day is Saturday. This Saturday approaching. What's going to be the 10th, the 7th? No, the 10th, the 5th, right? It's going to be the 5th?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the 10/5/2024. So that's October 5th, 2024. E4C, everything for Chris. 1 day invitational. I think most of the games are 3-on-3s and 4-on-4s, but he'll have like a little pro-am division. There'll be middle school divisions, high school division, girls games. So I'll be out there. I'll be with the dude Fluff Jones and the whole team he's got coming out. We're all gonna be doing it, and it's for a good day, good cause. Young man who lost his life. It might be 2 or 3 years to the date. Unfortunately, to this gun violence game we have going on here in the world, which we got to get better at. And Zach has a big tournament for him because him and Zach were very close, and he's like a brother to him. And God bless the work that Zach does. So big shout out to BK Network. Let's make sure we get this part out there for them. Rafiq, when you do the editing, so when we throw it out there for the snippets and we tag them on it. They're gonna do this thing this Saturday. It's a big event. Everybody who's around, come, of course, come in peace. It's a good event. Food, vendors, pop-ups. The announcers will be there. We having basketball. It's a good time. It's for a good cause. So that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be there. Wherever you walk, will be there. We locked in.
Yep, we're gonna be locked in indeed. For Rafiq Lewis on Ryan Walker, and vice versa. We'll see you next time.